Good morning everyone, welcome again. Today we will discuss topic the human ear in chapter 5. Let's start with auditory sensation. Audition or hearing is also an important sense modality that carries great value for us. So it plays a vital role in spoken communication also. So auditory sensation begin when sound enter our ear and stimulates the chief organ of hearing. Hearing depends on vibration in the ear called sound waves. Sound waves from the ear pass through various bones until they reach the inner ear, which contains tiny hair like cells that move back and forth. These cells change sound vibration into neuronal signals that travels through the auditory nerve to the brain. We hear sound waves. The height of wave gives us amplitude of the sound, and the frequency of wave gives us the pitch of the sound. So this is how we hear sound waves. Next, the structure of an ear is divided into three segments called the external ear, middle ear and inner ear. Here you can see on screen also three main parts of ear: outer ear, middle ear, inner ear. You can see here in this diagram also outer ear, middle ear, then inner ear. So external ear, outer ear, it contains two main structures, namely pinna and auditory meatus. Pinna and auditory meatus, you can see here in this diagram. Pinna is a cartilaginous funnel shaped structure that collects sound waves from the surroundings. And auditory meatus is a canal protected by hair and wax that carries sound waves from pinna to the tympanum or eardrum. So this is a process, this is a work of external ear. Next, middle ear. The middle ear starts with the tympanum, means eardrum, a thin membrane highly sensitive to a sound vibration. This is followed by tympanic cavity. It is connected to the pharynx with the help of eustachian tube, which maintains the air pressure in tympanic cavity. From the cavity, the vibration passes to the three ossicles known as hammer, anvil and strips also. So they increase the intensity of sound vibration about 10 times and send them to the inner ear. This is a process of middle ear. Then come to the inner ear. Inner ear has a complicated structure known as membranous labyrinth, which is encapsulated in the bony cell called bony labyrinth. A lymph-like fluid is found in the space between bony labyrinth, the membranous labyrinth. This is called perilymph. Here is also about function of external ear, middle ear and inner ear. For your understanding, external and outer ear function gathering sound energy and amplification of sound pressure. Pinna, external meatus, eardrum, membrane are included in the outer ear. Then middle ear function is transmission of acoustic energy from ear to cochlea, means hammer, anvil and straight, including middle ear. Next, inner ear function is transformation of mechanical waves into electrical signals, neural signals. Vestibular portion, cochlea and basilar membrane included in this. Next, move further. Transduction in ear. Sound waves hit the eardrum, then anvil, then hammer, then stirrup, then oval window. Everything is just vibrating, then the cochlea vibrates. The cochlea is lined with mucus called basilar membrane. In basilar membrane there are hair cells. When hair cells vibrate, they turn vibration into neural impulses, which are called organ of Corti. Sent then to thalamus up auditory nerve. Then auditory defects. There are two types of deafness: conduction deafness and sensory neural deafness. In conduction, deafness occurs when anything hinders physical motion through the outer and middle ear. When the bones of the middle ear become rigid and cannot carry sound inward, can be helped with a conventional hearing aid. Occurs from damage to cochlea. The hair cells, the auditory neurons, completely sensory neural deafness cannot be helped by a hearing aid. Next, here are some work part of ear, pinna, structure made of cartilage and skin, shaped like a funnel, and functions collect and direct sound into the ear canal. Ear canal, a long tube, lines with hairs, direct sound to the eardrum. Eardrum, a thin membrane, vibrates when sound waves hit it. Ossicles, three small bones, amplify vibration, transfer them to the oval window. Oval window, a small thin membrane, transfer vibration of the ossicles to the cochlea. Cochlea, a coiled tube filled with fluid, detects vibration and converts them into the nerve impulses. Eustachian tube means a tube that connects the middle ear to the throat and equalizes air pressure on both sides of the eardrum and preventing it from damage. Auditory nerve fibers that connect to the brain and carries nerve impulses to the brain. This is a function of auditory nerve. Then semicircular canals, three semicircular canals situated at the right angles of each other. It detects position and movement of head to help us keep our balance. This is a sense of hearing. Here, how do we hear? This is a process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see here, and I also saw, and you also seen the main structure in this video, as I earlier show you. This one. This is a process. You can see here in this process how we hear. So this is a stepwise process. Sound waves, pinna get sound, auditory canal, eardrum vibrate, ossicle vibrate, oval window, then it go to liquid in cochlea vibrate, then auditory nerve, then it come to particular auditory nerve, then we can hear anything. Next, sound as a stimulus. Sound as a stimulus, we are talking about sound. We all know that sound is a stimulus for ears. It results from the pressure variation in the external environment. So as physical movement disturbs the sound medium and pushes the air molecules back and forth. So here are some simplest count of sound waves is one that cause successive pressures change over the time in the form of a single repeated sine wave. Sound waves vary in amplitude. Amplitude refers to a general measure of stimulus. Magnitude, it is the amount of change in pressure, the extent of the displacement of molecules from the position of rest. Amplitude of sound waves is represented at the distance of crest and trough from its mean position. So the wavelength is the distance between the two crests, and sound waves are basically formed due to alternate compression and decompression of air molecules. A complete change in pressure from compression to rarefaction and again to compression makes a cycle of wave. So sound waves are described in terms of their frequency, which is measured in terms of cycle per second. In its unit, it is called hertz. Frequency and wavelength have an inverse relationship. When the wavelength increases, the frequency decreases. When the wavelength decreases, the frequencies increases. So amplitude and frequency both are physical dimensions. Besides this, there are three psychological dimensions of sound, namely loudness, pitch and timbre. Loudness of the sound is determined by its amplitude. Sound waves with a large amplitude are perceived as loud. Pitch refers to the highness and lowness of sound, and timbre refers to the nature and quality of sound. For example, the sound of a car engine, a person talking differ with respect to the quality of timbre. Timbre of sound reflects the complexity of its sound waves. So here are about limitation. Our ear can only hear sounds which have a frequency of about 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Different people have different ranges of hearing. Some devices that are used to overcome the limitation of hearing, such as earphones and stethoscopes, we use this type of devices. So sound produced by vibration of an object. When sound is produced, kinetic energy is changed to the sound. So this is about hearing, auditory, human ear we have discussed today. Next time we will move further. Thank you.